What's up, Rockstars? We gotta complain about CMON being manipulative liars again. For those of you who haven't disliked the video yet, hello and welcome. If you didn't know, this is an independent channel where I cover stuff like this. If you appreciate the independence, there's a link down below to all sorts of stuff at Patreon sponsors, or even just a like on the video or a comment. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and dive in. Now, disclaimers, I don't hate Dune War of Arrakis, and I don't care if you back it or not. Honestly, you should spend your money to bring you joy and fulfillment into your life, and if that does it, then that does it for you. It's fine. That's okay. We can all have differences of opinion, and this is about how the game is advertised, how it is pitched, how it is displayed, not the game itself, and not on any backers for either buying it or not. I myself complain while I walk to the checkout stand on many things countless times. That is often what I do. I will shout, I will complain, but at the end of the day, if I want something, I'm going to buy it. That's just how things work, right? It's the conflict of the consumer, but I don't really subscribe to like boycotts and stuff like that. So I still buy CMON games. It's fine. So just a general disclaimer there. Okay. I know it's fine if you back things. I'm just talking about the pitches and how they continue to manipulate and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and discuss what's going on. Now, they are at 777,000, so they have a holy number now. Last time they had the devil's number, but whatever, Antichrist, actually, I believe, whatever, it doesn't matter. 7,458 backers 54 hours ago, so the 48-hour notice still has not gone up. Let's go ahead and discuss what's going on, though. And of course, it's going to be about shipping and about the total price. So if you didn't know, the normal price that they showed right up front, day one, was $110. Now, that is, of course, minus shipping. That's minus VAT, which you will be charged if you're in Europe, and, you know, other stuff like that, but $110. And so for $110, you got the game and then some like stretch goals and whatnot, right? Now, they've added this carry-all pledge. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but let's look at just the expansion. So the first thing they add is the Spacing Guild expansion for $40. It's not retail only. MSRP is $50, so they're selling it to you $10 off. Now, of course, when they give this to the retailer is not spending $40, nor are they paying for freight. Right? They are just paying to ship it to their store, and they're paying far less than $50. In fact, they're probably spending around $20, $25 to buy that. And CMON makes a profit on that, which means it doesn't even cost them that much. It's typically at around 50%, sometimes more, sometimes less, depends, but often around that, cheaper for the retail. That way they can make money too when they sell it for 50. So it's not worth 50, if that makes sense. It's what the retailer is after they make a profit. So just realize, first of all, that they are charging you extra in shipping with the freight and stuff, but also a $10 discount while upcharging you more than they'll charge your friendly local gaming store to get the exact same product. And in fact, worse, because it's not part of this big shipment of stuff, and your stuff is packaged with other stuff. Now, granted, they are going to less distributors and stuff like that. There are some savings there, but either way, that didn't help with the freight anyway. Okay, so you're being charged freight, and they are charging retailers far less for the same product. Now, that's just how things work, and I get that. I'm just saying, when you work directly with the person who makes it, oftentimes you'll get that kind of discount by taking out the middleman. There is no such discount for taking out the middleman here. In fact, you're being charged more. They make a higher profit off you than they do them. So just a profit margin wise. So just as an FYI there, $10 off is nothing. They can easily do that, and they're still making more. But they did that, and then they added the neoprene mat. That is $30, which is a little bit on the higher end. I typically prefer $25, especially for a non-double-sided, but it is stitched, and I'm sure it's nice. That is Kickstarter exclusive, so that's another $30. And now they've added the Smugglers, which is a Kickstarter exclusive one, and that is at $40. So we're at $110 extra. In other words, they've doubled the price of the thing, but they've slowly increased it. I was just watching a video where it was talking about an MMO and how years in, they add all these features, and as you're going through it, if you're playing it all the time, you're slowly introduced to these features, so it doesn't seem like a whole lot. But a new person comes in, and they're like, there's like 20 million different systems at play, and they're all interconnected, and I can't make any sense of it because they got it all at once. They didn't get eased into it. It's the same tactic here. They don't want to show you that that you're going to be, hey, you know, do you want to spend, you know, $220 plus shipping on this? No, they say, hey, it's $110. Oh, hey, it's just another 40. Oh, hey, yeah, about another 30. So that's why they do that, especially on a short campaign like this where it's only 8 days. They're not doing it to elevate the funding level like they are in a longer campaign. This is a very short 1 week pretty much campaign, and they still had 3 separate add-ons that they eased in there to kind of slide in the price so it seems more reasonable. You don't get that sticker shock that you get, right? It's why they do that. But we're going to talk about shipping with all this too, because that is actually very interesting on that. So if we scroll all the way down here, blah, 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 blah. Okay, keep scrolling. And of course, the shipping's all the way at the bottom with Kickstarter. Okay, now they didn't show you this day one. Again, they hid this information from you, but they knew about it. Trust me, I'm going to show that as well. So all they showed you was the harvester. And I remember commenting on this that, hey, they're charging $60 to ship to the US, which is one of the cheaper options because a lot of people have VAT and higher prices. So that's about as cheap as you can get, is about $60 on that, which was over half of the price of the game of $110. So over half of your price is in shipping, and no other company is doing that. None of their competitors are doing that. You go find a campaign that's charging over double the price of the cost of the game in shipping. I dare you. This is another tactic to make money and lower the shipping cost. And it's literally with freight. I've had this conversation with a developer before because they were arguing with another developer because one developer included the freight in the MSRP and another didn't because we were talking about container prices, right? And the argument was the developer that was doing it the pro-consumer way was, this is the actual price to get it there. This is the normal price. If you buy most things online, you're not buying freight. It's included in the price. And so what they're doing is they're artificially lowering that price by taking normal funds that you would expect out and now saying, oh, they're extra fees. You know how like you get a bill and it's like, you know, like let's say like a medical bill if you're in the US and you get like, oh yeah, the x-ray was $200, but then there's this fee and then this fee and then this fee. And then there's the fee to bill you and then the fee to go through your charge with the card. And there's a convenience fee. And there's, they add all that up. So the true price is hidden from you. That's exactly why they do that here. Every single company that ever mentions freight to you, as in it's an extra price in shipping, is manipulating their price to artificially lower that price on Kickstarter. So it looks like it's 110, but it's actually more. It's an unfair thing where they're taking things out. What's next? Do they take out the steel mold cost? Like, oh yeah, it'll only be $30. But then there was a miniature steel mold fee of $50 that we're going to add to that. No, that's BS. That's not how it works. You don't take things out like that. All the consumers are used to the freight, but they take it out. So they've already been doing that to lower the price. But then they're also covering this. Now, why would they charge that for just a core box? Well, they were quick to explain day one in a comment. Somebody was asking about that. And what they said was they are including the stretch goals in that price because they already know what the stretch goals are. This is their 52nd campaign. They know what they're doing. They're very good at it. They use zero backer input on things. So it's 100% pre-planned. They knew exactly what stretch goals are going to cover, what it's going to include, and how much that costs to ship. That's how they can give you a shipping estimate. They know exactly the weight. They know how big it's going to be. They know how much they're going to add. They do all of that. Again, this is their 52nd Kickstarter. If they don't know how much a miniature weighs, they have problems. Okay. They're running a bad ship over there. I'm assuming they're better than that actually. So that's a compliment to them. I'm assuming they got their head on straight and they're just liars as opposed to inept. But that's going to be my stance. Maybe you want to believe they're just inept. So, yeah, they only showed the harvester. They had this carry-all here. The carry-all, by the way, is not the all-in. It does not include the neoprene mat. We'll get to that later when we talk about the spin that they're spinning around this. Okay, so they knew this was here, but they purposely weren't showing that to you because they're easing in that price, right? So they're easing in that. So when you first see it, your first impression of the game is a lower price because they've taken stuff out of the shipping, and even the shipping is lower because they're taking out all the stuff that they know they're going to add there. So they're purposely not going to tell you that, just that they're not going to tell you what they're adding in there. So all of that has been kind of spun to ease you into this price. But look at this, look at this. This is not an addition, this is the total. It goes from $58 to $62. There are some that raise even less than that. Okay. So these are like $10 and less. How are they, how, you tell me, how are they adding, scroll back up, all of this for a couple bucks more? When, if it costs $60 to ship that, and it truly costs that, how does it cost that much less to do that? The picking fees alone would almost do that. Now, this is where it gets funny. I actually believe that number more than the other one, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. So let's go in and go to update number 22, as everybody would know, that's what you would do. You click on update number 22 to get this kind of information. Strike a deal with the smugglers. It has nothing to do with that. It's halfway down the list. Again, this kind of obfuscation of information and piecemealing it out and withholding information from the consumer is their bread and butter. It's how they do their business. It's how they choose to make money. So let's go ahead and take a look. So they're talking about the carry-all, which is by the way, that's a ship that kind of picks up the mining vessels for the spice and takes it up before the worms get them, right? So this is it's a very in-theme name, just as an FYI. But $160 with a $70 discount, except it's about $70 to ship this game at the cheap end of the deal. But you are getting that Kickstarter exclusive ship bonus. So you're getting like 3-4 extra miniature sculpts and some cards, right? But that's not how they're going to say it. They're just going to say, hey, there's this huge savings, when it's not actually true. And in fact, the Spacing Guild or the smugglers thing, right? It says $40, but again, there's no real savings there because there's no MSRP. Okay, low additional shipping cost. Given the weight and size of the expansion boxes and how the shipping rate tiers are staggered, it turns out going from a base harvester pledge to the all-in carry pledge does not increase shipping in a significant way. In fact, as you can see from the shipping estimate table below, the shipping increases as small as $1 to $2 for many destinations, staying below $10 for most countries. That's because that's how much it costs to ship these things. They are sending thousands of packages in bulk to do this, and shipping isn't that expensive. Okay, because they're already including that in. Now, I get these are smaller miniatures and there's some cards and all that, but it's still the big box expansion, because guess what also has some cards and some small miniatures? The core box. If the core box costs $60 and you're saying that's how much it costs, and that is the cheapest thing to ship because it's done in bulk, there's less picking fees, and you're already having to get all those 18-wheelers to ship them off to the hub from the port and all that kind of stuff, right? So even the second mile shipping's like that. You're already having to get the container on the big box. Adding these smaller boxes should be proportionally at least the same, and this is not the case. Those two big boxes, and they're two separate boxes costing only a little bit more. You can't, in other words, you can't have both. You can't say on one hand, it costs this much to ship, and then say, oh, hey, it doesn't actually cost that much to ship if you add more items to it. There's something funny going on there, right? Either they're hiding the price and they're actually losing, like, on that $40 KSE, they're pretty much giving it, they're writing it as a loss or something, right? And there's $40 extra shipping in there. Or it doesn't cost them actually $60 to ship. Now, you tell me what you think CMON's doing. Do you think CMON is losing money on selling things? Or do you think that maybe, just maybe, the fact that they're the only ones to charge this and none of their competitors do, that they're full of crap? You tell me. In the entire industry of crowdfunding board games, is anybody charging this much? No, nobody is. I just did a news video. Go ahead and check the previous video of a whole bunch of links to all the things I covered online. You just click that link, scroll to the bottom, look at shipping. It won't be as much. None of them are. CMON is alone, standing alone on this hill saying it costs this much. Okay? BS is what it is. It's just simple, like, common sense, okay? Nobody is taking a $40, $50 bath of losing all that money by including that into their $110 pledge or something like that, okay? That it literally costs them less. Okay, so this is BS, but it's just as BS as hiding all the information and misconstruing facts and all that other stuff. But let's keep discussing here. Now, we understand that regardless of the difference, shipping costs are higher than you had hoped for. Unfortunately, due to high costs of international and last mile shipping, again, if the cost is here, then the cost should be there. You can't pick and choose where the cost is. If you're charging what it costs, you charge what it costs. Or are you not? You tell me, CMON. You can't have it both ways. As well as operational costs, there's not much at this moment we can do to lower the costs, as we have zero to negative profit when it comes to shipping. However, what we can control is the prices of products. You can choose everything. Everything is a choice. This is another BS spin that they do. This is a lie. They can control more than that. As the creator of the product, you control how big of a game you have. You control how many miniatures you're making, the cost of it. You control how many cards you have. You can control whether you're doing a big tray. You can control whether you're doing one box or two boxes. We're going to get to that. You can control how well you package it. You can control how well you ship it. You can control if you use a 3PL for your logistics on shipping everything, or if you do it all in-house, or if you work with them to lower it. You can control where they actually use the hub to ship things out, so you can change the zones in each continent. You can control every single facet of the product you make as a company. Every single thing. Their shipping is a choice on the company they use. Guess what? Not all shipping costs the same. You can get the fancy one with all the padding and tracking information, and that they'll handle all that. For instance, I don't know if you knew this or not, but some of the things that they use to ship, some of the companies will offer support so that your company doesn't have to. Now, that is a charge they have, and guess what? They charge that as shipping to you. Their customer support that they're buying through another company, they're charging to you as shipping. But they can choose that, or they could choose somebody that doesn't offer that ships cheaper. They pick the price. They control every single part of this. Every single part. So that's BS that they say, oh, well, all we can do is control the prices. So in this campaign, we're cutting down our margins, providing larger discounts than we have ever had on Kickstarter to offer you a great deal that offsets the shipping costs. I'm not talking about whether this is a great deal or not. I'm talking strictly about what they say and how it's misleading, how it's manipulative, and how it is counter of the truth, or to lead you astray in a different line of thought than it actually is. They can control everything. If it costs them $60, they could ship it for less. I guarantee you, CMON could ship it for less. They may have to swap to another provider. They may have to opt out of services that the shipping companies offer with stuff, again, like customer support, where they're the tier 1 support. You contact them and they handle all the different, sending it out of stuff, and they handle the permanent warehousing, all that kind of stuff, right? All of that, they put into the shipping and charge you for it. And they didn't have to do that, okay? There's tons of stuff they don't have to do. So it's just BS that they don't have any control over this. Now, they go here and they show, hey, look at this retail comparison here, right? You're getting a $30 discount on this, which is just like huge, right? And like that's amazing, and whatever. So it's down to like 160, right, versus 190. Though if you add the neoprene mat, it's back up to 190, and then of course with the $70 shipping. So this comes with $70 shipping. This comes with 0 shipping. So the actual price of this is lower, right? The actual price of this is higher. You are paying for this KSE. It is not free, which is fine if you want to pay for that. But just as an FYI, again, it's very manipulative when you take stuff out of the price, put it in shipping, and then hide the shipping price and never mention it. Okay? So that's kind of misleading here. Look at this though, exclusive box. We'd also, again, not that they control everything. They can only control the price, apparently. And this is the thing. It's like you can't say it costs this much and say, oh, by the way, it turns out it only adds a few bucks. Like that's literally back to back. And then you can't say, we can only control the price. Oh, by the way, we controlled this. You can't have it both ways. We like to announce that we are going to bundle all stretch goal rewards together with the Dune War of Arrakis box in a single larger exclusive box. This high quality box will be able to contain everything from the Dune War of Arrakis box, as well as all the contents we unlocked through stretch goals during the campaign, into a single neat package with special treatment to look and feel special. That lowers the cost, because now instead of 2 products that you're moving, you only have 1. It's 1 SKU, not 2 SKUs you have to deal with now. That's cheaper. So it's cheaper to pack, it's cheaper to pick, it's cheaper to send out, it's cheaper logistically to send 1 box versus 2 boxes. It's just how that works. Okay? So like inherently, this is saving costs, which again proves that the whole all we can do is control the price of products is false. Just like how, given the weight and size of the expansion boxes and how much shipping rates are staggered, it turns out that going from the base Harvest Pledge is only a few bucks. In other words, shipping's actually really cheap to do this, coupled with shipping's actually super expensive. Like, you can't have both. It's lies, it's manipulation, it's misconstruing the facts, and they are alone on this hill trying to die on it, and I don't understand why. I don't know if they just think we're stupid. I don't know if they just think that we can't shop around as consumers, or that we can't compare them. Now, they'll say that it's apples to oranges comparison, right? In other words, no 2 games are the same. But guess what? The 18-wheeler that you're hiring does not care what's in the box, as long as you don't need special refrigeration and stuff and all that. It's the same 18-wheeler, and it's all just dimension and weight. That's all it is. Those are the 2 factors. How many 18-wheelers do you need? How many containers do you need? It's a space and weight thing. It's a spacing for containers, which shouldn't even matter in shipping because it's not shipping. It should be in the MSRP. They're manipulating there. And then it's size and weight. How many 18-wheelers and how heavy is it, right? Because those are the 2 limiting factors for that. That's it, right? Everything else, it's just mud. It's just there to confuse you and to misconstrue facts is all it is. Also, I don't know if you knew this or not, but it also costs the same to ship an apple and an orange. Like, again, they don't care. You're just shipping fruit, and all fruit, I mean, again, unless it needs special things, it's not like they're like, oh, well, you're going to get the orange surcharge, or, oh, you can't compare how this round fruit is because this round fruit costs more to ship when it's the same size, the same dimension, and the same weight, and it has the same needs. No, that's not how shipping works. Again, I don't know if they just think we're stupid or if we don't think for ourselves and we just listen and take everything in as fact. But you can, again, look on Kickstarter, look at their competitors. Is anybody else charging this much? The answer is no. And it's just, I don't know, it's really frustrating to see them manipulate like this. See them say, we can't help shipping, it's expensive. Oh, hey, shipping's actually really cheap as long as you give us more money. Which is it? Or, hey, we can't control anything. Oh, by the way, we changed things up and now it makes it cheaper. Like, I don't know. You guys tell me, am I crazy here? Am I way off base? Is somehow my line of thought just completely misconstrued, and then everybody else is just losing money hand over fist because they have like no profits because they're busy hiding $40-50 worth of shipping into their core pledges? Is company B that was including freight losing money because company A said no, we're going to take that out and keep the price lower? You tell me, guys. I don't know. Look, it's frustrating that what looks to be otherwise good deal minus the shipping and a quality game is mired in terrible shipping practices and pretty much lying through your teeth from a company standpoint, while purposely manipulating you into easing you into giving them more money, whether it's just a few bucks more in shipping suddenly, randomly, though don't worry about the shipping price before, or they're looking at their whole thing, right? So here's the kicker. In fact, if you want to skip to this point in the video, welcome. This is the big point. When they say, I'll actually find their words. I'm not even going to put words in their mouth. We have 0 to negative profit when it comes to shipping. Now, what they want you to think, what they want you to believe, this is like lawyer speak. This is super manipulative. This is like disgusting behavior from a company, that this is how they want to operate their business. I don't know. I guess they're busy pumping NFTs at your face too, so it's whatever. But here's the issue here. They want you to think that this means that my item alone cost this much, that they didn't make a profit on charging $60. In actuality, what they mean, the reason they can write this down, the reason it's always worded this way, I mean, seriously, every single time they've mentioned it, we've never made profit on shipping. That shipping, they're not saying your item. They're saying shipping as a whole. Okay? So, they are shipping everybody's pledges to everywhere. And they're also shipping retail pledges all over the place. And if you recall, they're not charging them for freight. Retail doesn't have to pay for freight. So, that price has to be paid by someone. So, if you have just two numbers, total cost of shipping, how much shipping was raised. And you can easily say this exact word. We have 0 or negative profit when it comes to shipping. But if you think that your item costs $60, that the core pledge does, then you are wrong. The reason they're able to only charge a couple more bucks isn't because, and again, this is super manipulative, super slimy, disgusting wording on their part. Where is it at? Right here. Given the weight and size of the expansion boxes and how the shipping rate tiers are staggered, it turns out that going from the Harvester to carry-all pledge does not increase shipping. First of all, it turns out, again, manipulative, they crafted it this way. It's not just happen chance, oh, whoa, we accidentally got cheap shipping. It's this right here. The shipping rate tiers are staggered because this is overcharging to pay for this. So if you don't get the all-in, you're helping pay retail's freight costs. You're helping pay the other people's carry-all pledge. You are paying into the profits that then go and aren't profits because it goes to pay for somebody else's cheap $2 2 giant expansion box carry-all. That's why they do it. That's why they rate it that way. It's why they will never tell you that it costs you, your pledge, that much money. Because they make a profit off you to pay for theirs. It's how it works. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole like laundry list here of like, well, technically, you know, if Bosnia costs a little bit more than Iceland, but they're charging about the same. Like, I get it. It's almost impossible to charge everybody the exact amount. But this is not that. This is purposely manipulating and inflating the price of the core box so that the all-in is cheaper to entice you to FOMO into the all-in. They want you to get that carry-all. And to do that, they're going to say, it's just a few bucks more. It's just a few bucks more. Because that is their target. That's what they want. Let's see how well it worked. Knowing that, again, they haven't had the 48-hour. Right now, there's 4,000 backers there and 1,335 for the carry-all. But again, they didn't really announce that well. They're putting it in every single thing now because, and again, they've known about the carry-all this whole time. But that's really what they're doing, is they're just really trying to get you to go into that all in, and they're using manipulation, using kind of lies and deceit and, you know, forked tongue speaking of the, well, we never make a profit on shipping because we use all the profits we make from shipping on shipping other people's stuff because we want them to be that, we want everybody to be the higher end customer is what they want. And so honestly, if you ask me, I think I navigated it away, but if you ask me, I can do it here actually. I think that the shipping is for the carry-all. In other words, the Harvester pledge doesn't cost $58. The carry-all pretty much costs $58, thereabout, right? Probably $50 to $62 maybe. And that's always been the case. They've always were going to do the carry-all. They just are sneakily trying to get you to do that by paying more than you should, because that is not the actual price. It's why they're alone in this. It's why they look different. It's because they are charging all-in shipping prices for the core box so that they can slide in that and further push you towards that higher pledge level. It's manipulative and I don't appreciate it. I don't like it. Guys, again, let me know if I'm crazy here. Let me know if I'm way off base and that somehow my common sense is just broken and there's a valid reason why one company alone against all their competitors is charging so much more for a core pledge shipping of something that's about the same size and weight. But by all means, let me know. I would love to hear how I'm wrong there, because as far as I can tell, I'm not. I don't see any other way to look at this. What I don't appreciate is the sneaky wording. What I don't appreciate is the lawyer speak or the manipulative way that they try and get you to spend more money. Some companies choose to just make a great product and put it at a great price and reap the benefits. Or you can be CMON and you can't help yourself. Even if you have a great product, even if you have a good price, you can't help yourself but to eke out every little bit you can. Now, part of that's just the fact of being a public company. They don't care about you. They care about their shareholders. So you are not their customer. Their shareholders are. And with that, or their investors and all that other stuff. And that's how you get stuff like this. It's unfortunate, but it's how it is. When you have a company run by businessmen and not gamers, you tend to kind of get this. So it is what it is. But anyway, that's it. If you have any other comments or anything at all about this, go and let me know. And again, if you appreciate this level of independence in the game and when the board game industry and the coverage of it, there is at least that like button on your way out. Or again, leave me a comment, let me know. Share the video if you like. And of course, I'll talk to you guys again very, very soon. Bye, guys.